Hi everyone, in today's video we're going to be talking about inventory level management. So basically inventory level management is a really significant and effective process. It's not just a background process, it's a pivotal operation and strategic activity that impacts nearly all of the aspects of business, including finance, logistics, to even customer experience and brand reputation. So let's think about basically what happens when inventory is poorly managed. Overstock leads to inflated holding costs, wasted space and tied up capital. Understock, on the other hand, leads to similar stuff, it results in stockouts, back orders, and frustrated customers. So basically, this balancing ensures that we have just enough inventory, but not too much. It is the key to inventory optimization. The goal is always the right product, right place at the right time and the right quantity. The reward basically increased profitability, better customer satisfaction, and overall a more healthy cash flow. And I want to emphasize that inventory isn't just basically a bunch of boxes in a warehouse. It represents a final investment, operational foresight, and in many ways, basically the company's ability to fulfill its promise to the customer. Alright everybody, let's take a moment to define the various types of inventory. So each type represents a different aspect of production or otherwise the continuity of the product. We got raw materials. These are basic things like steel, plastic, cotton, and lumber. This is stuff that is got in the mines, the lumber, the trees. Basically just raw materials that we can easily access and basically establish everything around us. Then we have WIP, which is work in progress. Represents the items that are a little bit more complicated, but are partially a production service. So basically a carving that, so it's basically stuff that we need to do by ourselves, to make it exist, we have to make them. Or basically, all those bottles and stuff. Then we got finished goods. So these are products that already have been to the factory and are basically finished and are ready for customer delivery. These are finished products and they're with the alignment and the demand. And overstock is really risky with this, but the risk could mean more rewards. And then we got MRO supplies. Basically these are things like tools, stuff that I need to make other stuff like clean agents and maintenance items. These aren't sold, but without them production basically halts. And so all of these are basically used in many different manufacturers. As a retailer, a solid grab of categories is basically essential for the product. We're going to go to the question of why manage an inventory level. So this leads us basically to the core question. What is management inventory? Why is it so vital? So we've got minimized holding stocks. Warehousing basically, if you know, isn't free. You have to think about rent, utilities, insurance, and labor, and even depreciation or spoilage of the products. And then we got avoid stockouts. So this basically goes beyond sales today, but it's about basically gaining brand trust. Customers sometimes, but more often, may not return. Then we got optimizing cash flow. So basically we need a solid version of cash that basically goes through multiple sources, that legal R&D, or basically that scale operations. Then we have improved forecasting. So okay, I'll try. Improved forecasting. This inventory data is feedback. Is basically accurate inventory levels that help fine-tune future planning and basically improve service levels. So a good example is basically Walmart. It's a world-class inventory management practice that it's all around the world and it basically does billions of dollars annually. And it's a really good example of it because it has good logistics and that's a smart business strategy.
So now we will turn to the inventory management strategies, in which there are some of the primary strategies businesses are using to manage their inventory efficiently. The first is just in time, which also known as JIT. The strategy focuses on receiving the goods only as they are needed in the production process. It minimizes the waste and storage, cost, and like Toyota is the very well example for this strategy, in which, but it's risky. Delays in the delivery can halt production, which also a red flag in this strategy. The another strategies that I'm going to put on is the economic order quantity, which is also like in short form is like EOQ, which is the formula that determines the ideal order quantity to minimize the sum of the ordering and the holding cost. It's perfect for the companies with predictable demand. The another, which is ABC analysis, which is very renowned in many companies nowadays. Inventory is categorized into A, B, and C based on the value and frequency. For example, high value item that sells fast go in the category A and need tight control. Now the last strategy I'm going to discuss is the safety stock, in which that there is like you have to have buffered extra inventory that guards against demand spikes or delay. It essentially uncertain or seasonal market. Each strategy has pros and cons. GIT saves money but requires stability. EOQ optimizes cost but doesn't handle varieties. And ABC can analyze the focus. Once you have the strategy, you need to now measure the performance. Here are the 4 of the most widely used metrics that people are using. Inventory turnover ratio, in which it tells you how many times you sell and replace your inventory over a given period. Amazon's high turnover ratio reflects extreme efficiency inventory movement. The second is day sales of inventory, in which the lower DCI means faster conversion of the inventory into sales. Amazon's DCI is around 36.5 days, which is impressively quick. Fill rate, the percentage of the customer demands met without the black doors. 98% fill rate signals strong demand fulfillment. And the last is the stock out rate, in which the percentage of the demand not met because of the unavailability.
Is the lifeblood of inventory planning. If we can't predict what customer will want and when, we risk missing sales or drowning the excess stock. There are several forecasting techniques we can use. Historical data analysis. This uses past sales to predict future demand. Quality forecasting. It is used for new products or major market changes. This might include expert judgment, market research, or sales team's input. We have time series analysis. This mathematical method identifies seasonality, trends, or cycle based on past patterns. And we have CPFR, which is collaborative planning, forecasting, and replenishment. This involves sharing forecasts with suppliers and retailers to align expectations. Retailers like Zara thrive on strong forecasting. They track real-time store data, which let them respond fast to fashion trends and reduce markdowns and excess. Technological solutions. Let's shift to the tools that make inventory management scalable. Inventory management software, which tracks stock in real time, triggers reorders, and provides analytics. We have barcoding and RFID, which enhance accuracy and reduce manual errors. We have ERP systems, which integrate inventory with finance, HR, and customer service. And the last one is warehouse management systems, which improve warehouse layout, picking parts, and labor efficiency. FedEx uses these systems to handle millions of shipments daily with precision. Technology isn't just a support, it's foundational to modern inventory strategy.
Even with the best tools, mistakes happen. Let's look at the most common mistakes. Poor forecasting leads to either shortage or surplus. Inaccurately tracking without visibility, you can't act quickly. Lack of safety stock, no buffer leaves you vulnerable to delays. Slowed communication. If sales, procurement, and operations don't align, chaos follows. Blockbusters failed not just for a bad product strategy, but also because they didn't adapt their supply chain inventory statement while customer demand shifted. Let's now examine a gold standard of inventory management, Apple. In quarter 1 24, Apple's wearable generated 63 billion. Their high inventory turnover keeps products moving. Their low customer base means even with the low stocks, people are willing to wait. Apple's secrets, demand planning and a tighter supply chain. They align marketing, production, and logistics so close that product launches are global coordinated events. In conclusion, optimal inventory management is dynamic. It requires visibility, agility, and collaboration across departments. With the right strategies and technologies, it becomes a major competitive advantage.